So at last I can now reveal the new motorcycle that we've got, the Honda CRF 250 RX. In this video I'm going to go into the reasons why I bought this bike and not something else, and also I am genuinely going to give you my first ride. I haven't started it up yet. It's going to be the first ride experience on this bike, bearing in mind it's going to be running and what have you. So it's going to be the first ride and we'll see what it's actually like. Now I must apologise, we've been building up to this for a long time and the delays have not been our fault. Then we've had the weather, so I've had it a week and haven't actually ridden it because it's been raining every day, and there's work to do on the house that we've bought. So there's so many things going on that today's the day we've decided to get out on it for the first time and tell you what it's like. Now I chose this bike and a lot of people were guessing that I was going to get all sorts of bikes, and the Harley Davidson Pan America was people's main sort of guess. Completely wrong, of course. I've got one of these. Now the reason I've got one of these is very simple. Where we are in Wales, it's full of tracks and byways and very muddy, very rocky and very bumpy. So I need a bike that's got a lot of ground clearance, a lot of suspension, nice snappy power, lightweight. It's only 111 kilos, it's nothing. So you can get sort of 3 adventure bikes for the same weight. So it's ever so light, as I shall demonstrate. I mean, you can literally just pick it up. I mean, it's not a heavy bike. Try doing that with an adventure bike and you'll pull some muscles if you can get the back wheel off the ground at all. So it's very light, very manoeuvrable. Masses of ground clearance, as I said, which is very important when you've got bumpy, rocky ground. It is road legal, but I'm not going to be doing masses of road work. So I really wanted a more off-road focused bike than an on-road focused bike. So we will be reviewing this bike in weeks to come, but we're not going to start off with a review. We're going to do it a bit differently because this is my new bike. I've still got the Harley, more news on that coming actually. But I basically narrowed it down to this and the GasGas EC300 two-stroke. And I was going sort of in my mind for a two-stroke for a while because of the engine, the characteristics of the power. They're much better at sort of low grunty stuff. And that was kind of at the top of my list for a while. But then I looked at the ergonomics, the geometry of the bike, and this is more suited to my kind of style. The rake isn't as steep as the GasGas, it's got a little bit of a longer wheelbase and so on. So I think ergonomically, it's the bike that you ride, not the engine. So I went for this one. Not only that though, I contacted a Honda dealer and a GasGas dealer. The Honda dealer came back to me immediately and was very helpful. The GasGas dealer didn't. I had to chase them up after a week by telephone, and by the time they sort of toed and froed, the Honda dealer had already sort of given me the price and I went for the Honda. Now the bike's nice and simple, very minimalistic, which I like. You've just basically got 3 modes. You know, I don't like modes, but it's got 3 different levels of mode. It's got 3 different levels of launch control, an on button, an off button, and that's about it. Normally the mode switches and things are here, but because I've got the lighting kit, the lighting switches are here, so the modes I've gone over there. Other than that, it's basically a simple dash, which I'm hardly ever going to look at, just to speed, to be honest. And there you go. It's a simple, basic motorcycle. That's all about the ride. So let's go and find out right now what it's like to ride. Start you need a lot of revs to get moving on it, and with size 11 motocross boots I can't change gear unless I'm sitting on the tank, so I'm gonna have to do some adjustments there. That was the same with the Honda CRF 300L, to be honest, so no big deal. I can get that changed, or I can get some longer gear shift levers. But let's get a good old ride up the byway and see what it's like for a mile or two. Does sound nice. Got 2 exhaust pipes on this one. The new model has only got 1. Suspension's good, you don't feel these bumps at all.
I'm running it in, so I'm going to take it easy. Got nothing to prove. It's all about just getting out really in the countryside and enjoying the surroundings. It's very rocky here. Some of these slates are very sharp, so I don't want to get a puncture on the first outing. It's really hard to get my foot under that gear lever. I'm riding like a wuss today, don't worry. I haven't ridden a motocross bike for a while, well, Dura bike. Honda RX's rev sky high, so I'm not a big fan of revvy engines, but you know, you don't get big ploddy engines on bikes like this, and if you do, they're flipping heavy. So well, that's just fun. Sit down, stand up really. Neutral. Quite hard to find neutral. Just gonna ride it up the road. Change gear. Rides on the road really nicely actually. $250, so quite a bit smaller than my Harley, completely different characteristics, but you know, I'm not buying it for those reasons. So I think once I've got this bike tuned into my size and what have you, it'll be fine. It's just sheep, they're stupid. Yeah, so it's definitely nice to rev. Sounds really nice. Pretty big enough. Just got to sort this gear shift thing out because my big feet are way too big. And the brake pedal's a bit high as well. I've missed it a couple of times. Mind you, when you're standing up it's okay. Another one of the reasons for buying a bike that doesn't weigh anything is this. Let me show you. You can move it backwards and forwards. I mean, this is one hell of a slope here,
And you know, the bike is so light and so easy to maneuver. You don't get that with an adventure bike, like I've said before. You can't really see it here, but this is quite a hill, and I'm having no trouble whatsoever pushing the bike up the hill. Now, we've had Harleys where we can't actually get up this hill. You have to start the engine. So it's nice to have a light bike if you're going to do some off-road riding. We've also got a Triumph T100 in the garage waiting there for us to review it. So looking forward to riding that. I love these Triumph Bonnevilles, they're superb. Darcy's coming down hopefully this weekend on the Harley if it doesn't rain, otherwise he'll be just doing the Triumph with me. So we'll be doing a bit of a tour of Wales on the Harleys, and as a result of living in this area, I'm actually thinking of selling my Harley Davidson Heritage Classic. So if you want to buy my Heritage Classic, I'm looking at about £16,000 in the UK. Let us know in the comments below. Whew, so that was my first ever ride on this bike, and first impressions, obviously the first thing that struck me was that I can't change gear because my feet are too big, so I need to move the gear lever forwards. I'll have to find an accessory gear shift lever, and there are some. Also the brake's very close into the engine, so I missed the brake a couple of times. So again, you've got to get used to all these things. It's a lot different ergonomically from bikes I'm used to. But as far as grip and handling go, it's really nice. There's some pretty bumpy stuff, and I didn't feel at all nervous on it, even though I'm riding like a wuss. But that will come in time. I'm not of the age to prove anything. I don't care if I'm the slowest guy in the world. I just want to enjoy where I'm riding. This bike's got plenty of oomph. I went out on the road, got it into 5th gear. It revs sky high, and it feels plenty powerful enough. And if you open it up, this is a wheelie bike for sure. Whether I will do wheelies, we'll have to wait and see. But that could come in time. As I say, I'm going to take it slowly, get used to it again. I used to do motocross years ago. It's been a while, so I just need to get used to it. But the trail rides that we've got planned on this bike are going to be phenomenal. So stay tuned. There's going to be a lot more of that, and we'll see you on the next video.